When you think of From Software, you probably think of Elden Ring, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and if you got a little bit of retro knowledge, you probably even think of Kingsfield. But there's one title that everybody kind of just sweeps under the rug. Came out for the PS2, actually being one of the first PS2 games to be released for the console. Eternal Ring. Eternal Ring starts off with a long exposition telling you that the countries of the world are at war, and the king is sending you, a young magician named Kane, to an unexplored island to search for something they call the Eternal Ring. As per the name of the game, rings will play a major role in the game's combat system and just overall stats and attributes. I'll talk a little bit more about the ring system later on in the video, because when you start the game, all you start off with is a sword. But the sword is enough to get you started, from killing crabs on the beach to slaying your first monsters in the dungeon before town. Using the sword is a different story though. The controls in this game make it a little bit hard to play, but pretty much just like every other From Software game of the period, if you played the Armored Core series or the Kingsfield series, then the controls will be no stranger to you. Using the left trigger and the right trigger to look up and down, and even using tank controls on the directional pad for movement. Combat probably feels a little bit difficult for first timers, but the system is easily adaptable. Monsters in Eternal Ring drop loot when you kill them, and one of the things they drop is gems. Each monster, depending on what type of monster they are, will drop a certain type of gem, and these gems can actually be taken somewhere later in the game to be combined to make magic rings. The ring combination feature of the game is probably my favorite thing about Eternal Ring. There are two types of rings you can craft. Magical rings that affect your player or the world around you, and attribute rings that affect your player's stats. With over 70 different ring combinations, the game always keeps you coming back, trying to figure out the best combinations to make the best rings and the most powerful magics. The game is fun. There's lots to explore, lots to create. The only thing I think that's holding it back is the weird controls, and due to the fact that the game doesn't really have a set direction. It's kind of up to you to figure out what's going on and where to go and what to do next. The game has a massive open world full of all sorts of enemies to fight, puzzles, and loot to be had. If you're looking for your next great adventure on the PS2 console, this one is a great choice. Eternal Ring has a lot to offer, still even in 2025. So, calling all you retro guys out there, even you new gamers, go out there and get you a copy of Eternal Ring for the PS2 and play it now. Apex the Okie out.